I'm honored to be reading a letter written by the spouse of a federal employee. They are too afraid to stand up here by themselves and be known. I'm writing this as the spouse of a federal employee. I wish that I could personally make this statement, or better yet, I wish that federal employees could speak for themselves. But they are operating in a hostile environment now, afraid to attract unwanted attention or give anyone reason to unjustly fire them. I wish I could proudly tell you about the work that my federal employees and their agency does, about their singular focus on the common good and their efforts to protect communities and build a safer, more hopeful future. But that work is less valued now. Grant payments are frozen and projects are held in limbo with unknown fates, needing to be scrubbed clean of banned words to have any hope of moving forward. The post-inauguration attack on the federal workforces was immediate and immense. The repeated memos issued by the Office of Personnel Management were both degrading and untrue in their references to the integrity and work ethic of its employees, many of whom are top professionals in their fields. Memos were followed by HR emails of a similar tone. Everyone received notification that diversity, equity, and inclusion activities were strictly prohibited. They had 10 days to report any employees not following this directive. And a failure to report would have adverse consequences. The Equity Task Force on which my spouse served was immediately disbanded. They nervously held one last emotional meeting to say tearful goodbyes and to wish each other luck in the upcoming months. Soon, the fork in the road emails followed. This supposed buyout offered employees full pay and benefits through September if they resigned by a quickly approaching deadline. Chaos and confusion followed as the validity and legality of the offer was questioned. The fork in the road emails came daily, usually in the evening, in what felt like a strategic move to constantly stay inside the heads of federal employees. At first, the emails were both insulting and absurd, framing the buyout as an opportunity to get better, more productive jobs in the private sector, or to have your dream vacation while on an administrative leave. Over time, they became threatening. Take this offer because your job is going to be miserable and will probably fire you anyway. People were asked to make life-changing, heartbreaking decisions with little clarity and little time. Then came the indiscriminate mass firings. Thousands of probationary employees let go and then rehired in an agonizing back and forth that was played out in the courts and the headlines. My spouse woke up each morning, unsure who would be left to report to work that day, worried about the well-being of valued colleagues, and anxious about the ability to provide critical services with the rapidly shrinking workforce. Because terminated employees were almost immediately locked out of the system at the advice of union and lawyers, people at all levels hurriedly downloaded personnel files, performance evaluations, pay stubs, anything that might be useful to the unemployment or in future lawsuits. And now the reduction in force, or RIFs, R-I-Fs, are here. Phase 1 plans are submitted and Phase 2 plans are due in April. My spouse's agency has not yet released their plan, but it is clear that thousands more will be terminated. At this point, we are just waiting, wondering who and what will survive the RIF, and if anything or anyone can stop this attack. I could go on with more examples like the rollout of the "What 5 Things Did You Do Last Week" program, or the ongoing return to office fiasco, but it's all just more of the same, constant confusion and intimidation. For federal employees and their families, the last 2 months have been filled with chaos, confusion, fear, anger, and profound sadness. My spouse has found some comfort and safe haven in apps that allow secure, encrypted communication. In these group chats, federal employees are mourning, consoling, advising, sharing information, and organizing. I am grateful for the way that the workforce has come together to support each other in these unprecedented times. I'm amazed by their resilience and how, despite the chaos and intimidation, they continue to do their jobs. Their meetings now typically start with the acknowledgement of the situation and a quick check-in to see how everyone is holding up. Then they get down to business at hand, and the business at hand matters. It really matters. Our federal workforce conducts life-saving scientific research, provides health care for veterans, ensures the safety of our food, conserves our natural resources, and protects communities from wildfire and natural resources, among many other things. Please stand with them and fight to protect their services.